Hey, it's Chris here at Fractal Recording. The question here is, if I had a podcast, what would I talk about? It's a very common question. There's a zillion answers to this. I mean, very often, in fact, every time when I start to talk to people and give them the ideas I'm about to give you, they start to go, oh yeah, I could talk about this. And I have them make lists sometimes. And in fact, there's one local event we had here at the studio where I kind of tricked everybody. I told them to write down 12 different areas of their business that they could discuss. And then I had them, so basically they listed these different, topics they could discuss. And you know what? You could do a podcast show on each of those topics, or even mini topics. So, so what can you talk about on your podcast? Let's first get this one out of the way. You can interview other people. So you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know anything. You can interview people who do know a lot of things. So interviewing is a great way to get content for a podcast show. Other things you can talk about are your experience. I mean, there's probably a zillion stories you could tell about your company or your industry or your experience, or things that went wrong, things that went right, different stories of traveling, anything. So many topics there. You could talk about your education, some of the things you learned. I mean, you could go back through, you could just talk about the fundamentals of your industry. You could probably list 30, 40 fundamental concepts and talk about each one, and either do a show on each one or just group them together and do a show, whatever. You could talk about the news. You could talk about how the news or new up and coming things are affecting your business or affecting business in general. So there's always new things coming out that you could comment on, you could have an opinion on. That's easy. You could talk about any controversies there are. I think that's one of the main things they teach you in broadcasting school is everything. Well, not everything should be a controversy, but controversy is interesting to the listener because they get different opinions and then they get to have their own opinion, I guess. I didn't go to broadcasting school, so. You can answer common questions. That's a big one too. Within your travels as a professional, through all the years you've been in business or a professional, people have asked you thousands of different questions and you've had to answer them. So there's so much knowledge inside your brain and your heart that you can bring out and answer and share with the world. So I think that's enough. I think you could probably rewind this video and make notes of what I said and just start listing out the topics. And trust me, you'll have hundreds of topics. And you have a lot to say about each one. You can share stories, anything. So I hope this was helpful. Again, you might want to rewind and make notes. So if you have any further questions, contact me through the fractalrecording.com website. And there you go. Hope this was helpful. Take care.